How far would you go to uncover the truth, even if it meant everything you knew could come crashing down? Before I begin, let me ask you again. How far would you go to discover the truth, knowing it might burn your entire life to the ground? Hello, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit subscribe and share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I always enjoy hearing from you. The phone vibrated softly on the polished oak desk. Adrian looked up from his laptop, his eyes tired from hours of staring at quarterly reports. He reached for his phone more out of habit than interest. One message. No contact name. No prior thread. Just one line. Redwood Tavern. Back corner booth. Come now if you want the truth. He blinked, puzzled. There were no attachments, no emojis, no links, just a plain message. His first reaction was to dismiss it. Probably a wrong number, a scam, or some kind of joke. But something about the message hit a nerve. The wording wasn't casual, it was exact, purposeful. Come now if you want the truth. The sentence stuck in his head, looping, tightening in his chest. Before his mind could process it fully, his gut had already made a decision. Deep down, he knew what this was about. He knew it was about her. About Elise. Earlier that day, Elise had told him she was visiting her mother. Just for the evening, she'd said, in that light, effortless way of hers. There'd been nothing strange, no reason for doubt. But now, Adrian grabbed his keys without thinking. His pulse pounded in his ears as he drove through streets washed in yellow streetlight. City lights smeared the windshield like paintbrush strokes. Redwood Tavern wasn't just a place. It was part of their story. Birthdays, anniversaries, laughter, wine, memories sealed in dim lighting and quiet toasts. But tonight, it stood like a monument to something broken. He parked a block away, watching the warm glow from the windows. It looked normal, peaceful, but he knew better. With calm precision, Adrian slipped through the side entrance. He moved along the edges, letting the shadows swallow him. His eyes scanned the booths until they landed on her. Elise. She looked radiant, leaning in close to a man Adrian didn't recognize. The man wore a tailored suit and a luxury watch. He had the kind of presence that didn't need to try. They were laughing, naturally, comfortably. It didn't look like a first meeting. It didn't look like business. Adrian watched as Elise reached out and touched the man's hand. She laughed in that familiar, soft way, one that used to belong to Adrian. Then, she kissed him. It wasn't accidental. It wasn't a slip. It was a kiss filled with intention and warmth. Adrian felt the pressure in his chest, but his hands remained still. Without emotion, he lifted his phone and took a single photo. One picture. That's all he needed. No confrontation. No drama. He turned and walked out the back. Every step felt like it sank deeper into the earth. His breath came shallow and tight. The cold night air slapped him in the face. Just as he reached his car, something made him look back. Inside, the man, still holding Elise's hand, looked up and met Adrian's eyes. There was no surprise. No guilt. Just cool awareness. He leaned in and whispered something to Elise. She froze. Her smile disappeared instantly. Her eyes darted around in panic, searching. She didn't see him. But Adrian saw everything. This wasn't a coincidence. That message, it wasn't a warning. It was bait. A setup. The man had wanted Adrian to see them together. He wanted this moment to be witnessed. Adrian drove home in silence. His mind raced, but his face gave nothing away. When he walked in, everything was untouched. Dinner plates still sat out. Her favorite candle was still burning. But something inside him had changed permanently. He sat quietly on the couch, staring at their wedding photo in its frame. Then his phone buzzed. It was a message from Elise. Cold. Direct. I want a divorce. From now on, all communication will happen through attorneys only. There was no explanation, no apology, just a line drawn through everything they'd shared. Adrian didn't respond. He didn't scream. He didn't even cry. He just sat there, numb, letting the weight of the truth settle in. By morning, Adrian had already found a lawyer. Her name was Miranda Chase, sharp, professional, and no-nonsense. She listened to everything he had to say and gave him clear instructions. "Give me everything." He handed over the photo, the anonymous message, financial statements, and access to all joint accounts. That same day, Adrian began closing every door. He canceled Elise's credit cards, locked her out of shared accounts, changed every password. Not out of spite, but survival. Elise had made her choice. He was simply acting on it. Within 48 hours, Elise's lawyer, an arrogant man named Damon Pierce, sent Adrian a formal letter demanding that he resume financial support. Miranda's response was cutting. She attached Elise's own message, the one that stated all communication would be legal from now on. She listed every transaction Adrian had ended after her legal declaration. Elise's team tried to change the narrative. Friends started calling Adrian, questioning his actions. "Why are you being so harsh?" Family members whispered among themselves, wondering if Elise was just confused or going through something. Adrian didn't offer explanations. He let them believe whatever they wanted to believe. Meanwhile, Miranda kept digging. What she found was worse than expected. Elise had tried to clean out a forgotten joint account, one with significant savings. She came close, but Miranda caught it just in time. This wasn't about a heartbroken woman making a mistake. It was calculated. The divorce turned nasty. Elise's team tried to portray her as the abandoned wife, financially ruined and emotionally lost. They claimed Adrian's coldness had pushed her away. Miranda responded with documents, timelines, Elise's own messages, and the photo. The judge saw everything. Elise's demand to end communication. Her attempted theft. Her premeditated betrayal. Then came the next attack. Anonymous complaints started surfacing at Adrian's workplace. Baseless allegations designed to stall projects and cast doubt. Some deals froze. Business partners hesitated. But Adrian remained calm. Miranda helped him launch a full internal audit. It cleared his name. Every whisper was shut down, methodically and publicly. And when the dust settled, Adrian knew exactly where it had come from: Elise. She hadn't just tried to hurt him emotionally. She'd gone after everything he'd built. At the final court hearing, Elise broke down in tears, accusing Adrian of abandoning her emotionally. Miranda stayed composed. She read Elise's cold divorce text aloud in court, then presented the evidence of lies, theft, and manipulation. The judge didn't need time to decide. Elise's current hardships, he said, are the result of her own actions. Adrian kept full ownership of his company, which had been founded before the marriage. Elise was penalized for hiding assets and buying property in secret. Her alimony was reduced to the legal minimum, just enough to get by. Elise was shattered. She left the courtroom alone and disgraced. The rumors spread quickly. Sometime later, a mutual acquaintance of theirs, someone who had known both Adrian and Elise socially, invited Adrian out for drinks. What he revealed tied everything together. The man Elise had kissed was named Marcus Weller, a financial consultant known for seducing clients' partners. He had sent the anonymous message on purpose. He wanted Adrian to walk in and catch them, believing it would drive Adrian away and give Marcus a clear path to Elise. But Marcus didn't know Adrian's business was secure. He didn't anticipate Elise walking away with nothing. When the truth hit him, Marcus cut ties and disappeared, leaving Elise alone and ruined. Adrian didn't celebrate. He didn't gloat. He simply walked away, steady, quiet. The man who had once believed in forever had changed. He was calmer now. Sharper. Stronger. The wounds remained, but he understood something vital. He hadn't lost everything. He had only lost the illusion. And sometimes, that's the hardest truth to face.